Hello everyone, I'm Dr. John from the Oak Lane Wellness Clinic. It's a pleasure to have you with me today. I want to start with a question I hear almost every day. Dr. John, I know seafood is supposed to be good for me, but when I stand at the fish counter, I feel completely overwhelmed. How do I choose what's really best for me? It's a brilliant question, and you are not alone in asking it. The truth is, our bodies are like high-performance classic cars. Think about that beautiful 1965 Mustang your neighbor restored. The fuel that made it run perfectly when it rolled off the lot might need a slight adjustment today. A higher octane blend to keep that engine purring smoothly. Our bodies work the same way. This isn't about good foods versus bad foods. It's about making smarter choices for our current needs. Here's what I've learned in my years at Oak Lane. Your body has been your faithful companion for decades. It deserves the very best fuel you can give it. Not the most expensive, not the most complicated, just the smartest choices. Today, we're not going to create a list of forbidden foods. That's not how healing works. Instead, we're going to explore what I call the smart seafood swap. We'll look at 4 common fish choices that might not be serving you as well as they could. Then we'll discuss 4 fantastic upgrades that are particularly suited to support your energy, brain health, and joint comfort after 60. This is about giving you confidence and clarity, not fear. It's about walking into that grocery store with a smile, knowing exactly what will make your body feel its best. Let's begin this journey together. Let's start with a very common choice that probably sits in your freezer right now. Tilapia. Now, I want to be clear from the start. There's nothing inherently wrong with tilapia. It's popular for good reasons. It's mild, so it doesn't frighten anyone who's not sure about fish. It's affordable, which matters when you're on a fixed income. And it cooks quickly, which is perfect for busy weeknights. But here's what's helpful to know. Most tilapia you'll find at the store is farm-raised. Think of it like the difference between a backyard garden tomato and one from the grocery store. Both are tomatoes, but they've had different lives. Depending on what these farm-raised fish are fed, their nutritional profile can lean more towards something called omega-6 fatty acids. Now, our bodies need omega-6s. They're not villains. But here's the thing. Our typical modern diet often gives us plenty of them already. Think of it like a playground seesaw. You know the one, where you and your grandchild try to balance perfectly. When the omega-6 side gets too heavy, it can tip our body towards a state of inflammation. And inflammation, well, that's often what makes our joints feel achy and stiff. It's what makes us wake up feeling like we wrestled with our mattress instead of sleeping peacefully on it. So, what's a smart upgrade to help balance that seesaw? I'd like you to consider the humble mussel. Yes, mussels. I know they might look a little intimidating if you've never cooked them before, but these are true nutritional champions. Mussels are loaded with anti-inflammatory omega-3s. If omega-6s are like having too many excited children on one side of our seesaw, omega-3s are like the wise adults who come in to create perfect balance. They don't just sit there doing nothing. They actively help calm inflammation in your body. They're like having a gentle, skilled massage therapist working on your joints from the inside. But that's not all. Mussels are sustainably farmed, which means they're actually good for the ocean. They filter the water they live in, making it cleaner. And they're packed with vitamin B12 for energy and zinc for your immune system. Here's the beautiful part. Steaming a bowl of mussels with some garlic and fresh herbs isn't just medicine. It's a delicious, restaurant-quality meal you can make at home in about 10 minutes. Your joints will thank you. Your energy levels will thank you. And your taste buds? They'll be delighted. Next, let's talk about some of the ocean's impressive residents. Swordfish and king mackerel. These are the big, meaty fish that make you feel like you're having a real feast. They're substantial, satisfying, and often feel like a healthy indulgence when you're dining out. The key thing to be mindful of here is their position in what I like to call the ocean's corporate ladder. Think about it this way. Imagine the ocean as a big company. The little fish are like the new employees just starting out. The medium fish are middle management, and these big impressive fish, they're the CEOs who've been around for decades. Just like in any organization, those at the top have accumulated more experience. But in the ocean, they've also accumulated something else. Mercury. These big fish have been around a long time and have eaten many, many smaller fish throughout their lives. Over the years, mercury can build up in their tissues. It's not their fault. It's just how nature works. Now, here's the gentle truth about our bodies as we age. Our natural cleanup crews, our liver, kidneys, all those amazing detox systems, they still work beautifully. But they've become a bit more deliberate, a bit more thoughtful in their work. It's like having a wise, experienced housekeeper instead of a young, hurried one. The work gets done, but it takes a more measured approach. So it's a wise strategy to choose seafood from lower on that corporate ladder. Fish that haven't had as much time to accumulate those concerns. This brings me to one of my favorite upgrades, the mighty clam. I know. Clams might not sound as exciting as swordfish, but let me tell you why these little shellfish are truly a gift from the sea for anyone over 60. First, they're incredibly low in mercury. They're like the dedicated interns of the ocean. They've been focused on filtering water and growing, not climbing the food chain ladder. But here's where they become magical. They offer a treasure chest of nutrients that our bodies absolutely crave as we age. Clams are one of the world's richest sources of vitamin B12. This vitamin is crucial for keeping your nerves healthy and your mind sharp. You know that frustrating feeling when you walk into a room and forget why you came? B12 helps prevent that brain fog. They're also packed with iron, not the harsh, constipating kind you might find in some supplements, but the gentle, easily absorbed kind that your body recognizes and welcomes. Feeling a bit sluggish by mid-afternoon? Before reaching for that third cup of coffee, consider whether your body might just be asking for the deep, restorative energy that iron and B12 provide together. A simple bowl of clam chowder, a plate of clam linguine, or even just some steamed clams with butter and herbs can make a world of difference in how you feel. Your brain stays clear, your energy stays steady, and you're giving your body exactly what it needs to thrive. Now, let's talk about the ultimate pantry staple, canned tuna. I see it in almost every kitchen I visit. It's convenient, affordable, and versatile. You can make a quick sandwich, toss it into a salad, or create a simple pasta dish when you don't feel like cooking from scratch. The key here isn't to avoid tuna completely. That would be throwing the baby out with the bathwater, as my grandmother used to say. Instead, it's about becoming a savvy shopper, about reading those labels like the wise consumer you are. Here's what most people don't know. Different types of tuna have very different profiles. Think of it like choosing apples at the grocery store. A Granny Smith and a Red Delicious are both apples, but they taste different, look different, and even have different nutritional profiles. Tuna works the same way. Larger varieties like albacore, that's the white tuna you see on labels, can have higher mercury levels than smaller varieties like skipjack, which is labeled as light tuna. Simply choosing light tuna instead of white tuna is already a smart upgrade. You're significantly reducing your mercury exposure while still getting all that convenient protein. But if you're looking for the ultimate pantry upgrades, foods that are like treats but act like treatments, let me introduce you to two of the ocean's greatest gifts, oysters and lobster. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Dr. John, those sound expensive and complicated. But hear me out. Oysters are nature's multivitamin in a shell. Their superpower is zinc. Think of zinc as the master key that unlocks over 300 different processes in your body. It's essential for immune defense, so you can fight off those pesky colds that seem to linger longer than they used to. It helps with wound healing, so those little cuts and scrapes heal faster. And it's crucial for producing the collagen that keeps your skin smooth and your joints flexible. Just a few oysters can provide all the zinc you need for an entire day. You can buy them already shucked at many grocery stores. A little lemon, a tiny dash of hot sauce, and you've got a health treatment that tastes like a celebration. Now, lobster might seem like pure indulgence, but it's actually a wonderful source of minerals and contains a special antioxidant called astaxanthin. Think of astaxanthin as an internal sunscreen for your cells. It protects your collagen from breaking down, keeping your skin supple and your joints comfortable. You don't need to eat lobster every day. Once a month, as a special treat with your spouse or a dear friend, can be a delicious way to support your body's structure while creating beautiful memories. The beautiful thing about both oysters and lobster is that a little goes a long way. You're not just feeding your body, you're celebrating it. Let me tell you about Arthur, a gentleman who embodies everything I love about this community. Arthur is 70 years old, a retired history teacher who still has the curiosity of someone half his age. He loves taking long hikes through the local nature preserve, and he's famous in his family for the Sunday dinners he cooks for his grandchildren. But when Arthur came to see me 6 months ago, he had some concerns. He sat in that same chair you're looking at right now and said, "John, I feel like my battery is running low by 3 o'clock every afternoon. And after a good hike, my knees are so noisy the next day they could tell their own history stories." We both laughed, but I could see the frustration in his eyes. He was doing everything he thought was right. He was active, he was cooking at home, he was trying to eat healthy. So we looked at his typical week together. He was eating what he genuinely believed was healthy: grilled tilapia 2 or 3 times a week, and an albacore tuna sandwich for lunch almost every day. "Arthur," I said, "you're not doing anything wrong, but what if we could make a few small adjustments that might help you feel even better?" We decided to try some of these smart swaps we've been talking about today. Nothing dramatic. Nothing that required him to throw out his entire pantry or learn completely new recipes. He switched his regular tilapia for steamed mussels twice a week. Simple preparation: white wine, garlic, and herbs. His wife loved the elegant touch it added to their dinners. He started making his lunch sandwiches with canned salmon or light tuna instead of the albacore. Same convenience, better choice for his body. And once a month, as a special treat, he and his wife would share a small lobster tail or enjoy a few oysters at their favorite local restaurant. There was no overnight miracle. I want to be honest about that. Real change in our bodies takes time, just like growing a garden takes patience. But about 2 months later, Arthur came in for his regular checkup with something I hadn't seen before: a genuine sparkle in his eyes. He said, "John, the most amazing thing happened last weekend. I took my grandkids to the park and we hiked for 2 solid hours. They were trying to keep up with me, not the other way around. But here's the real miracle," he continued. "The next morning I woke up, stretched like I always do, and my knees were quiet, completely quiet. No creaking, no stiffness, nothing." Then he paused and smiled. "And I've noticed something else. I don't need that second cup of coffee in the afternoon anymore. I just don't hit that wall like I used to." But his best observation was this: I realized I wasn't giving up my favorite foods. I was simply trading up for versions that served me better. It felt like finally buying the right tool for the job instead of trying to make do with what I had. What a wonderful way to put it. Arthur's story shows us the power of these gentle shifts. They're not about deprivation or complicated meal planning. They're about small, intelligent choices that compound over time. So, what's our takeaway today? What's the one thing I hope you remember long after you've turned off this video? My invitation to you is simply this: be curious about your own body. Be gentle with yourself. Be willing to experiment with kindness. You don't need to change everything at once. That's not how lasting change happens anyway. The next time you're at the grocery store or planning your weekly meals, maybe just try one of these smart upgrades. Choose mussels instead of tilapia for your next family dinner. Pick up some light tuna instead of albacore for your sandwiches. Treat yourself to a few oysters on your anniversary. Then pay attention. Really listen to your body. How do you feel the next day? How's your energy? How are your joints? Your body is an incredible source of feedback if you give it the chance to speak to you. And if you feel inspired by what you discover, please share your own wisdom in the comments below. What's one smart swap, seafood or otherwise, that has helped you feel more vibrant and alive? Maybe it's switching from regular pasta to whole grain. Maybe it's trading your afternoon soda for herbal tea. Maybe it's something completely different that you discovered on your own journey. Your experience could be the perfect tip that someone else in our community needs to hear today. We're all in this together, learning from each other, supporting each other. Please remember this above all. Your health journey is not a test you can pass or fail. There are no right or wrong answers, only choices that serve you better or less well. You've lived in your body for decades. You know its rhythms, its preferences, its little quirks better than anyone else in the world. Trust that expertise. Trust yourself. At the Oak Lane Wellness Clinic, we believe that health isn't about having a perfect body or following a perfect diet. It's about having the energy to pursue your passions, the clarity to enjoy your memories, and the strength to show up fully for the people you love. It's about waking up feeling grateful for another day. It's about having quiet knees, a clear mind, and a joyful heart. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Thank you for caring enough about yourself to learn something new. Thank you for being part of this wonderful community of people who choose to live with intention and wisdom. Be well, be wise, and enjoy your next delicious, empowering meal.